What's up, everybody? Welcome to Brook Numerology. I am so glad you're here. So today I am going to tell you about what to expect for the month of July based on your destiny number. And I'm really excited because there's some really interesting things going on for the month. So I am going to show you really quickly how to calculate your destiny number in case you don't know. So I'm just going to share my screen. And I'll show you this really quickly because what is happening in the month of July is going to be based on your destiny number. And it's the reason it's your destiny number and not your birth number is because the destiny number is where we are meant to go in life. So it is going to be the most important number in your entire chart. So let's just take, oops, down there. Let's just take July 14th, 1985. So suppose this is your date of birth. So we're just going to add everything up to get your destiny number. So the month of July is a 7. We're going to add that plus the 1 plus the 4 because that's from, your date of birth. Then we're going to add up the entire century that you were born. So 1985. And so we're just going to add them straight across. So 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 plus 9 is 22. 22 plus the 8 is 30. And 30 plus 5 is 35. So all of these numbers added together are 35. But to come up with your destiny number, we can't take just the whole number. It has to be a single digit number. So then we'll add 3 plus the 5, and that is 8. So then the person born on July 14th, 1985 is going to have a destiny number of 8, and that's going to be ruled by Saturn. So here, really quickly, you can see that, if your destiny number is a 1, you're ruled by the sun. If it's a 2, you're ruled by the moon and so forth. So just take a quick look at this, do a screenshot if you want, and then that way you will see what your destiny number is. And so we are going to get started now. And we're going to start with the sun, right? Because that's number 1. So the sun. The sun is currently transiting through Ardra Nakshatra, right? This is if you're destiny 1. And so Ardra Nakshatra is about deep transformation. It's usually something very difficult because it's represented by the teardrop and the diamond, because what's happening is there's major destruction. It's causing tears, but you're being polished. Think of it as just like a rock and you're being polished. So people with a 1 destiny have gone through a lot of transformation. And because it's the sun, it's regarding your ego. So your ego has gone through a lot of transformation, but you're becoming your highest self. And so this is something that is so prominent for people that are a destiny 1. Now, on the 6th, the sun is going to move into the nakshatra of Purnavasu. And so after the storm, there is newness. Something new is developing. And so starting on the 6th of this month, you're going to really notice that there's been this transformation, but now you are beginning again. And so it is green grass, right? That is Purnavasu. And so something new and brilliant is coming into your life. And so all of that difficulty that you went in through, June and then the very first week in July, it's not for nothing. Something new is on the horizon. And so because the sun is with Jupiter, there's going to almost be a transformation within your values. And so there could have been just a complete destruction of your ego. And now, it's transformed how you see things and your values. So it could just be something as simple as you've decided to hang out with a new group of friends because your values and your morals have changed. Now, Rahu is aspecting the sun from its 5th aspect in Aquarius. And so there is going to be this new creative energy within you as well, because the 5th aspect has to do with creativity, There could also be something new that's happening with your children if you do have kids or even your students, right? Because the fifth aspect is about your students or your children. And so it's either a newness and a new creativity within you or within your children. So that's something to keep in mind. Then on the 16th, the sun is going to move into Cancer. It's still within the nakshatra of Purnavasu, but it's moving into Cancer. And so there's going to be, you know, you've been through this difficult transformation, and now everything that you went through is solidifying into the new you. And so there is going to be more of a calmness about you since the sun is in Cancer. And then on the 20th of July, the sun, it's still in Cancer, but it's moved into Pushya Nakshatra. And so this is a nakshatra that is about caring for others, caring for animals. And because it's ruled by Saturn. It's a Saturn ruled nakshatra. And so you need to really think about helping people that need your help, helping the elderly, helping the poor, even helping children. That's going to be just a huge thing for you. And then at the same time, Mercury is in Cancer, and it is in the nakshatra of Ashlesha. And so this is a really deep, introspective, looking for the truth of everything and just getting down and really understanding what is happening. And so because the sun is with Mercury, it's really important that you take the time, for the remainder of July, the second half of July, to really understand what you're about and to go deep and, incorporate that into how you go about doing everything within your life. It's because, the sun is the ego, it's our sense of self. And you've just gone through this really powerful transformation. And so don't lose sight of that. Keep digging deep and understanding what you're meant to do in this life, how you are to progress forward. That's so important. And then also at the same time, don't forget about helping others because you've been through a lot. And I understand that you want to really take care of yourself now, but you can't forget about those less fortunate than you. And then when you look deep and you help people at the same time, that is when you are just going to really prosper in life. So I wish you all the best for the rest of July. I know you've been through a lot, everybody, with the number one destiny number, but you've got this. The hard, difficult part has come and it's gone. And now, you are a diamond that is shining. And so just really shine a light for everyone else, especially those less fortunate than you, because you are that light. So I will see you next month, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye. Welcome, number two, destiny people. You are represented by the moon. Whenever I do these monthly transits of what is happening for your life, please know that yours will be a little longer because you are the moon. There's just so many changes. We have to follow where the moon is going at all times. And as we know, the moon transits a sign every 2.5 days. And so there is a lot going on for you this month. Okay, so starting on July 3rd, the evening of July 3rd, depending where you are, the moon is in Chitra Nakshatra. And that's within Libra. So you are really thinking about partnerships. That is very important to you. And Venus is going to be eighth from this moon in Libra because Venus is in Taurus. And so this is normally not the best position. However, because the Venus is in Taurus, this is actually a really good position. And whenever a planet is eighth from another one, that can create suddenness. And it doesn't have to be bad. And so because the moon is in Libra, this is actually a really good time for you. So heads up on July 3rd, right? That's right before the 4th of July. New loves can come into your life, something unexpected that you weren't expecting, but also old loves can come back from the past. And this is something that's very transformative. This is going to really transform how you see things and your life. It's going to transform how you view partnerships. This is a really important time of the month. Then on July 14th and 15th, the moon is going to be in Aquarius, and it's going to be with Rahu in Purvabhadra Nakshatra, but it's opposite of Mars. And so you are going to be having these really intense desires and feelings at this time of the month. But it's almost a recalibration of what is happening because Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra has to do with it's like you're walking in on this line. On one side, you're wanting to just leave the material world behind and become spiritual. And on the other side, you don't know if you should leave the spiritual world and just have these desires. And so these 2 days are going to be very important. For you. You know, you're not going to know whether to chase your material desires or, give it all up. And it feels like it's coming from other people, but it's not, right? Because it's opposite Mars. So Mars is really pushing these feelings. It's not coming from other people. It's a mirror effect and it's coming from within you. So you really need to decide um, around this time of the month how you want your relationships to be, especially your romantic relationships. You need to decide, is it going to take a more materialistic way of being, or is it going to be something spiritual? For instance, if you're having issues in a relationship, you can move towards a more spiritual way of being within your relationship. So the 14th and the 15th, that's when that is going to be prevalent for you. Then on July 16th, it's just, a few days later, the moon is going to be in Pisces. And remember, this is the sidereal system. The moon is going to be in Pisces with an Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, there's a lot going on here because the moon is going to be with Saturn, and this can cause a lot of depression. But because the moon is in Pisces, that is a saving grace. But you are really going to be going deep. You're going to want to understand your karmas and what you are meant to be doing in this life. And it's important that because you're going to be thinking so deeply at the time, but the moon is with Saturn. So really, if you're feeling sad or unsure about something, really talk to someone. Take this time to find someone that is close to you in your life and speak to them about how you are feeling. That is going to make you feel so much better. The other remedy that I have is because Uttara Bhadrapada has to do with the mountains and the deep ocean. It would be really helpful for you if you could either, go to the ocean, even walking along the beach where the water and the sand meet, because that part is it's where the water and the earth meet, and there's something very magical and resetting about that. So go there. Also, if you can go into the mountains, that will be equally helpful. One thing is because Uttara Bhadrapada has to do with cows, do your best to avoid meat at this time. If you do eat meat, then try to refrain from eating beef. That's really important, and you will get through this because the moon will leave soon. Then on July 20th, the moon is going to go into Rohini Nakshatra, and it does really well in Taurus, right? The moon is exalted in Taurus, and so you'll have felt this burden within you, but don't despair. Within a few days, it will be in Rohini, and it'll be a time of renewal, of having a glow up, just feeling good. So make sure that you go out and you're social and you're with friends and those people in your life that are really important to you. And then let's see, July 22nd, the moon is in Ardra, right? This is a very destructive nakshatra. So you may feel like things are just falling apart. Just let the time pass. Anything that goes away or is destroyed in this time is for your greater good. So just realize if something happens, and then also just watch out for relationships, especially with your mother, because the moon in Ardra can cause some difficulties within your relationship with your mom. And then on the 24th, it's going to be in Cancer within Pushya. And this is just a really gentle nakshatra. It's kind, it's compassionate. So it's in its own sign, but it is opposite Pluto. So there can be some issues that come up when in relationships, and don't just hang in there. Don't make any sudden choices because this is, it's not about other people. If you become really angry with someone, just know they are causing you, they are reflecting back to you. And so it's actually things within yourself that you're needing to work through. So please, whatever you do, don't end a relationship, don't do anything sudden. It's just causing you to understand yourself better. It's a time of transformation. And then also, the moon is in Cancer, that's home. And then opposite that, it's Capricorn. And so this is a time where you are really needing to balance your work and home life. So just keep that in mind. But I think it's going to be a really good month for you. It's a month of transformation and just roll with the punches. It's all going to be okay. But at the end of the month, I think you're going to really feel that things in your life have solidified and anything that was difficult fell away, but what's going to be left is something really beautiful. So I wish you all the best this month for Destiny 2 people, and I will see you next month in the new reading. Thanks so much. Hey, number 3 Destiny people, you are ruled by Jupiter, and you've been going through some transformations. Hang in there. Everything is going to get better. Your destiny number is currently transiting through Ardra Nakshatra, and this is an intense nakshatra. It's about transformation for your highest good, but for it to happen, there's a lot of destruction. So there is probably a lot that has been going on in your life. Rahu, which is currently in Aquarius, has its fifth aspect on your Jupiter. And so you're gaining new wisdom, a new way of seeing the world and being at your highest purpose. But it is, it's a tearing down of systems. But at the end of this, there's going to be a new way that you view yourself and the world, and you're going to be on this higher plane of operation. And so I know it may be tough for you right now, but things are going to get better. One thing that would be helpful is just to communicate, to keep the lines of communication open with everyone in your life and including yourself. If there's some difficult things going on, be honest with yourself, right? Because Jupiter is currently in a Gemini. The other thing that is going on is Venus is 12th from Jupiter right now. And so there could be a lot of new things going on within your romantic life. There could be new love affairs. There could be someone that you meet in another country that becomes very important in your life. And so it's a time really of enjoyment. And so there could also be foreign travel. So, and when you do foreign travel, it will bring this sense of creativity to your life. And so just really enjoy that. And if things get tough and you are able to do even really any kind of travel, I highly recommend that. I think it's really going to help you out for the month of July. Then on the 16th, things are going to get a little better because the sun is going to move into Cancer. And that is going to be second from Jupiter, who, is the planet that rules your destiny number 3. And this is really good because you are going to have a new sense of valuing yourself. With everything that you've been through, you're going to have a new way to see how wonderful you are and how much you have to offer the world. There's going to be a new sense of confidence. And, at a minimum, you are going to find value in yourself, and then you're going to be able to take that into the world. So that's a really great thing starting on the 16th of July. Communication can be intense. And I don't mean that you are speaking harshly. I mean that you are speaking very heavily. You're talking about serious things. So do your best to kind of mitigate that. I know you're probably, discovering new ideas and new ways of being, but it can almost be a little burdensome to others. And then it's ultimately going to make you feel a little bit heavier. So keep things light. And if you get really deep with yourself, that's great, but find other ways to let that energy out than just communication with others around this time. And then you know again, you're just going to really understand your value and your worth. And it's going to be this huge transformation from where you were, say, this time last year. And I think that that is so important. And so act accordingly. You know your worth, you know what you are capable of, and demand that from others. That is so important. Just, expect that from others, right? You're not doing it in a way that's egotistical, but you now understand your worth and expect that from others. And don't settle for anything less from anyone else. And I think you're going to have, a really good month. You're going to continue to transform. This is going to go on for a little bit while longer, but I think that that's a really good thing. And I think that you're going to find that the next 12 years are being set up for what you are going through right now. And so, whatever the area is of transformation in your life, you're going to have to see where Gemini sits, what house it sits in. And again, this is per sidereal astrology. That area of your life is going to be transformed for the next 12 years. And I think that's so great. So, find out where that is and then just know that those changes are coming. Okay, I will see you next month with the new predictions, and I hope you have a good one. Bye. What's up, number 4 people? You are ruled by Rahu, and this has been a really important last few months for you. So Rahu is currently transiting in Purvabhadra Nakshatra within Aquarius. And so there may be an end to relationships that are not working, and that is okay. It doesn't matter if they are familial relationships, business partnerships, romantic connections. It's okay. If they are not meant to work, they are going to fall away. But please know that this is for your higher purpose because Mars has a seventh aspect. And you may feel that you have been forced to take a path that you knew you needed to do for a long time, but you just couldn't make that decision. And so you may be forced to make a choice, and that's okay. Choose what you know is right in your heart because I know you know, and you'll persevere and you're going to come out on the other side in a better position, and there will be healing. Healing is coming. Things may seem hard, but healing will be there. So another thing is hard work and stability are really important in your life right now. And so it's okay to take a break or take a little trip, but make sure that it's planned and don't just sit around idle because this is not good for number 4 people. They really need to work hard because when things go awry, hard work and stability is what is going to bring you that sense of peace. So just keep working. If something goes wrong and your mind is starting to go, a little haywire, just go out and work, and it is going to make you feel a lot better, I promise. So you really need to go towards where you know that you're meant to be, and everything else will fall away, right? That is okay. Let everything else fall away. Jupiter's ninth aspect is on Rahu, and so you are going to be divinely guided. So don't fret if you decide that you should be making a decision that you hadn't previously thought of. That's okay because Jupiter is bringing this expansion and this wisdom to your decisions, and things are going to be okay. Just do what you know is right in your heart, not what you think someone else is telling you to do, because that is not the correct path. Also, even if you are not a spiritual person, find a higher purpose in everything you do for this month of July. That's really important. Um, you know, Rahu is going to be in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra for the rest of this month. And so it's really important to find this path, to try to go away from the material way and find a higher purpose. Again, this doesn't have to be spiritual. If you're not spiritual, that's fine. It's just about finding a higher purpose, whatever that may be. And I think if you do that, coupled with working hard and not sitting idle, you're going to find the month of July is really transformative and helpful for you and is really setting the stage for the months to come. Okay, thanks so much, number 4. I will see you at the end of July, 1st of August for August's monthly report, and have a good one. Thanks so much. Hey, what's up, number 5? Destiny numbers. You are ruled by Mercury, and there has been a lot going on for you. So you probably noticed into June, 1st of July, that you have a stronger sense of communication. There's just been this renewal in the way that you can communicate, and thus people around you are probably responding in a better way as well. You probably noticed that there was also a huge transformation within your children's lives as well as your father. They may have been going through a lot in the last few weeks, but things are starting to calm down, and there is this rejuvenation within them, and they will continue to feel that. Also, if you are a teacher of any kind and you have students, they could have been going through a really intense transformation, but they are finding a new path. And so that's really important. So then on July 7th, Mercury is going to move into Ashlesha Nakshatra. And so you are going to be really set on researching and getting to the bottom of subjects or things that are happening in your lives, right? You're very investigative. And so this is going to be an intense time. The one thing I do want to say is don't be too heavy in how you go about doing things. And so it's not so much the harsh words that I'm concerned about. It's just that you are burdening yourselves, you're burdening others because you're just going to be so research oriented. And again, there's going to be these intense investigative powers within you. And so really, be careful with that because it will kind of make your energy for you just feel heavy. And so that's something to watch out for. Then on July 18th, Mercury is going to be retrograde in Cancer. And so you will probably be reassessing your home life, your relationships with your mother. And Mercury is liquid assets. And so you may be reassessing how you're making money. And so because Mercury is now retrograde in Cancer, you really need to find a work-life balance. It's going retrograde within Ashlesha because you're needing to go back, maybe learn something else, maybe switch directions in how you were conducting your research or what you were doing. It's going back to reassess something. And that's okay if you have to change studies or figure out a different financial situation or new ways of doing things with your mother. That's okay. It's really important to look inward though and figure out what it is you need to do going forward. And for a lot of people, this is going to be if you were, learning something, you may have to go and switch things up. For instance, say you were learning astrology and then you realized, oh, actually, I'm supposed to be learning numerology. It's okay. It's okay to go back and switch these things up because it's going to be something better. It also can be going back to fix things with your mother, right? To fix your relationship. So really just take the time to do that. Then on July 29th, Mercury is still going to be retrograde, but it will enter into Pushya Nakshatra. So this is really important to give back to others. Saturn is ruling this nakshatra. It rules Pushya nakshatra. And so you may need to go and help those less fortunate than you. Perhaps, you were so focused on taking care of yourself that you forgot, that there are people less fortunate around you. And you're starting to figure out, how you can do that. So that's something, that you can do as well. And then it's important to really find your self-confidence in this time. Don't lose your self-confidence. And then also do your best to not eat any meat. And if you do need to eat meat, do your best to avoid beef while Mercury is retrograde and Pushya Nakshatra. And then another thing that's really important if you are a Destiny 5 is to not sit idle this time of the month, to take action because your self-confidence is going to come from taking action and doing something that you find important. I know when Mercury goes retrograde, it can be a little confusing for people that are number 5 destinies because that's the planet that rules them. That's where they're supposed to go in life. And so again, it can get confusing and overwhelming, but just don't sit idle. Just if you're not sure what to do, just find what you think is most important and then go and do that. And then 12th from Mercury is Jupiter. And so around this time of the month also, just don't lose your moral compass because that is something that can happen for a lot of people. So just make sure you stay on the straight and narrow and don't, lose your moral compass because this is really important. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back next month with August predictions for number 5 destiny. Have a good one. I think you're going to really learn a lot this month. 6 destiny numbers. Welcome to your July horoscope reading for the month. So you are ruled by Venus. And this is great because Venus is home, right? Venus is in Taurus. Thank goodness. This is going to be a really great month for you. And I have to say, of all the numbers, of all the destiny numbers, it's probably going to be the best for you. So, we're going to start the month with Venus transiting through the nakshatra of Kritika. Saturn is going to have its third aspect on Venus. And this is actually a really good thing because Saturn and Venus are friends. And there is going to be this renewed communication between you and those that you are very close to. There's going to be a focus on efforts, communication, and how you want to move forward. This is really important. Now, I will say that Kritika Nakshatra is ruled by the sun. And Sun can be an enemy of Venus. Well, it is an enemy of Venus, right? But just remember that if there is a relationship during this first, week in July, if a relationship falls away, it's okay because something much better is going to be on the horizon. But in general, I don't see that for most of you. I do see that there's just going to be this renewed sense of love and communication. So keep that in mind. There's also going to be, new ideas regarding love because Venus is with Uranus. Now, normally we don't use Uranus within Vedic numerology, but whenever there's a planet that is, exactly conjunct with Uranus, I do look at that because it's important. So there could be even new ideas about love. It's not so much the cutting away of a relationship, but new ideas about love, how you're going to proceed forward. And then Saturn aspecting Venus with its third aspect is just going to really solidify the communication. So I think it's going to be a really good time for you. Then on July 8th, Venus is going to enter Rohini. And I think just from the 8th through the 19th, you are just going to have a really great time because, you're going to experience increased confidence. You may have a glow up and decide to go shopping and try new makeups and perfumes and clothing. You're also going to be incredibly magnetic and attractive, and people are going to really be drawn to you. So if you're looking for a new relationship, this is going to be a great time, right? Because you have this extra magnetism within you. And then also you may be, experiencing a glow up. It's a great time to date and to meet someone new. And then if you're in a relationship, then you're really going to just feel more of a sense of solidarity and doing, more fun and romantic things with your partner. I think it's going to, it's just going to be a great time. Now, then on July 20th, Venus is going to enter into Mrigashira Nakshatra, still within Taurus. It will move to Gemini. I believe it's on the 26th of July, but it's going to spend, a chunk of time within Mrigashira. Now, Mrigashira has to do with searching and hunting. The deer is the animal that corresponds with Mrigashira. And what is the deer? It's graceful. And so there is going to be a way about you. You're still magnetic, but there's just this renewed grace within you. Now, what do people do? They chase the deer. And so you may find that people notice you. They are singling you out. They may like you. If there is someone that you like or that you would like to date, this isn't a time to play hard to get, right? Be like the deer in the sense that you're graceful, but don't be elusive and kind of hard to catch. If there's someone that you like, this is a great time of the month for you. Just let them know so that bonds can be formed because then Venus is going to move into Gemini and there can be more communication. So again, if you like someone, just make sure, in a subtle way that you let them know that you like them because they will be receptive because Venus is in Mrigashira. So I think that that's all that I'll discuss for this month, but I will be back again in August to give you the new updates for Destiny number 6. And I want to say, have a great time. This is going to just be a really fun month for you. And again, you're probably the luckiest number for this month. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. Number 7 destiny numbers, you are ruled by Ketu, and it's going to be a big month for you. So K2 is starting in Uttara Falguni at the beginning of July, and it's ruled by the sun. And so, one thing I just wanted to mention is watch out for your dad's health. If he is having health problems, just see what you can do to assist him. That's going to be really important. But you're going to have a lot of increased energy this month because K2 is sitting with Mars. And so you are just going to be very powerful and dynamic. Try to err on the side of being softer and more spiritual versus that aggressive side. That's really important. And try to see the higher purpose in things. And then at the same time, enjoy the fruits of what is coming to you because you have probably learned a lot about who you are recently, but just take that time to, again, see things for, a higher purpose, but enjoy those things. It's really important that you enjoy what um, I guess reap the fruits of your karma is what I'm trying to say. So it's okay to do that. Also, please don't ignore any deeper insights you may have about situations and don't make any rash decisions because Mercury is in Ashlesha Nakshatra, and that is within Cancer. So it's 12 places away from your destiny number 7 K2. And so you may, in the back of your mind, be aware of what is happening, but don't forget to fully analyze a situation before you make a big decision because you are kind of prone to knowing really what is going on and what you should be doing, but don't ignore it. Don't make rash decisions. Don't let your temper get out of control. Just really take the time to think about it. I know that may be hard. And it's just really, really important. Now, Mars and K2 will still be in the sign of Leo, but they are going to separate after July 20th. And so this is going to take away some of those impulsive feelings that you're having. And so that's going to be nice. And then K2 is going to move into Purva Falguni. Purva Falguni is ruled by Venus, and K2 and Venus together can bring back past loves, past karmic influences around relationships and love and beauty and communication about those things. And so you may be reunited from someone from your past. And at a minimum, you may meet someone that you had karmic connections with from the past. So don't be surprised if you meet someone and you're just instantly drawn to them and there's this magnetic way that you guys interact, or if you see someone or get a phone call from someone that you knew from the past. And it's okay to proceed. Just be aware and I guess look out for any red flags because they're coming back to you from the past, but it's to work out karma. And so, while there may be this, magnetic connection, just be aware of it and be on the lookout because you're meant to learn something from one another and it may not be forever. So if you meet someone, don't think, oh, this is, my forever person. Or if someone from your past comes back, send you, a message somewhere, don't get too excited. See them work things out, but know that it's most likely coming from a karmic connection. Also, this could be a time that you take a trip because Purva Falguni has to do with relaxation and trips. And so it's okay to do all that, right? But just make sure that it's something spiritual or that you're doing something that has a higher purpose, right? Don't just plan a trip and go with no kind of schedule. It's really important that you create a schedule, that you know why you're taking the trip. And it would be best to do it for spiritual purposes, like maybe you're going to Bali, but you're going to go and visit temples, and there's something higher for it. And then when you get back, after you've rejuvenated and relaxed, try to take what you've learned and and spread that wisdom to other people, particularly your family. I think that would be very helpful to you. What else? The Nakshatra of Purva Falguni does have to do with the front legs of the marriage bed. So Uttara Falguni is the back legs, and Purva Falguni is the front legs of the marriage bed. And so, because you're number seven, ruled by Ketu, and it's going through this nakshatra, try to make sure if you are in a relationship that your love kind of transcends to something more spiritual or more of a higher connection with your partner, that it's not so materialistic anymore. This is a great time to move your relationship to something higher because it will really, it's a way to almost ensure the longevity of the relationship. Okay. So just have a conversation with your partner and take it to the next step, but in a more divine way and not so materialistic. And if you are with someone and it's only because you're attracted to them or they're just offering you money, the relationship could fall away. So really try to move it on to something higher. And so I will be back at the end of July, 1st of August, with August's updates for your destiny number. And I hope you have a really great month. I think this is just going to be such a great time for you to transform your relationships and take trips and feel the higher purpose in them. So I'm not saying don't enjoy any trips, just see the greater purpose within life. And I think it's going to be an excellent month for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up, Destiny number 8? You are ruled by Saturn. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you are having a good start to the month. So Saturn is currently transiting in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, and this is going to be some heavy times for you because Saturn is sitting in the nakshatra ruled by Saturn. It's important that you really go deep, go inwards, go into, the depths of your emotions and what you know to be right, and really seek out what you're meant to do in this life. It's a great time to do that. Neptune is within Pisces too. I don't see this as necessarily a time of confusion. I think it is meant to show you that you need to do something more spiritual, something with a higher purpose. And so really take this time to do that. And I think it is going to serve you well for the next many years of your life. Mars and K2 do have, they're both sitting in Leo. And while Ketu isn't aspecting Saturn, it is sitting with Mars. And so Mars is carrying the energy on the eighth aspect through I think the 26th of July until the 27th. And so this is going to intensify everything. And the eighth aspect of Mars is one of transformation. And so let this come and transform what you are doing, right? You're experiencing Saturn in a Saturn nakshatra. Things are intense. Mars is intensifying this with its eighth aspect. And so the universe is really just wanting you to look deep, change what you're doing if needed, and then go forward. Don't see this as a confusing time. I know it may be a little bit hard, but it is going to serve you well. There can also be transformation at home because fourth from Saturn is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Ardra's nakshatra, excuse me. So there can be this really intense transformation. Ardra is a destructive nakshatra. There can be thunderstorms and rain. It is a nakshatra represented by the teardrop, but things will get better. I promise you, they are going to get better. And whatever is being transformed within your home life. Also, the fourth house has to do with the mother and our inner happiness, our peace of mind. Things are going to get better. Just go through this, let the rain come, and then Jupiter will get to Purnavasu, and you're going to find that things are rejuvenating and that something beautiful is happening. Your kids during this time also may be more communicative, so really take this time to listen to them and hear them out and help them along their way if they are needing anything. The same as your students, right? Because our kids can be our students as well if you don't have kids. And then finally, on July 13th, Saturn is going to go retrograde in Pisces. It is going to end up back in Purvabhadra Pada Nakshatra. And this is a time to recalibrate everything that you're doing, right? Because Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is a difficult nakshatra as well, because it has to do with, do you go towards the material or do you burn it all away and leave that behind and go to the spiritual? And so it's really important that when Saturn goes retrograde on the 13th, think about what you're doing. I suggest you go to the spiritual side, or if you're not spiritual, the higher purpose in what it is you're doing, right? Because you can be a stay-at-home mom, but still you have a karma that you have to perform. You could be someone that doesn't work. That's okay. There's still something that you are meant to do in this life. And so really find that, analyze it. And then once Saturn gets into Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, I think it goes direct at 1 degrees of Purva Bhadrapada, then that spiritual fire will be alive within you and it's going to go direct again. And you will know clearly what you are meant to do, right? Saturn, your destiny number, is going retrograde because there is something you forgot. There's something you have to go back and do. And again, don't take Neptune as something that's confusing you. It's trying to spiritualize. I don't even know if is that a word? Is that a verb? I don't know. It's trying to spiritualize everything. So let it do its work. This may be a little bit of a challenging time, but if you have performed your karma well, right? You have taken your divine right action to its highest level, Saturn rewards. And so that's something we can't always see in an astrological grid or a Vedic numerology grid. We can't see that. It's between you and God, whoever God is for you. And so Saturn retrograde can actually be very beneficial for a lot of people, especially in Pisces. So I wish you all the best. I don't want you to think that you're going to just be confused, through this month of July. I think it's going to be actually a very good transit for you. So I wish you all the best, and I will see you back next month for August reading. Talk to you soon. Bye. What's up, number 9 destiny numbers? Thank you so much for waiting. Last but not least, so you're ruled by Mars, so we have to really see what Mars is doing in the transits this month. So there has been a wildfire, intense energy within you because number 9 Mars is sitting with Ketu. And so think of Ketu as an energy similar to Mars, right? There is just this intensity within you, this firehouse of emotions. Do your best to stay calm. I know that may be easier said than done. Mercury is currently 12th away from this Mars, and it is going to be going into Ashlesha Nakshatra pretty soon after July starts. And so Mercury in Ashlesha is very investigative, very research oriented. Don't let your impulsivity overshadow your critical thinking because it's there. You are able to really assess and investigate what's happening. Don't let your impulsivity take over this because you may make a mistake in something, and it just creates, again, this wildfire energy that takes off, and you made one decision and you didn't expect it to just go so crazy. So just keep that in mind. There is a warrior like quality within you. You are going to go after and fight for what you believe to be true, and that's great. Just make sure it's the higher truth. That's really important. Also, your identity and your creativity is really flourishing. You're able to assert yourself more had you had issues in the past. And so if you have any creative, passion within you, really follow that because that will also mitigate some difficult energies that could be present. So when we start the month in July, Mars is in Purva Falguni Nakshatra. It sits entirely within Leo and it's ruled by Venus. And you are right? Number nine is ruled by Mars. So what is Mars and Venus together, right? It is intense passion, intense desire. So Purva Falguni Nakshatra is ruled by Venus, and it has to do with the front legs of the marriage bed. And then Uttara Falguni is the back legs of the marriage beds. These people like material things. They like to travel. Bed, right? I mean, it's the front legs of the bed. So there's bed pleasures. It is a nakshatra that wants to relax and travel. This is not a bad thing. You're going to really be feeling these things because Mars and Venus together is going to create these intense emotions. And so that's fine. I do suggest that you go travel, that you plan a vacation. And then I would try to complete that vacation between the 1st of July and July 23rd, even if it's just an impromptu trip. You want to get away for the weekend. That's great. Enjoy. But then when you come back on July 23rd, Mars is going to move in Uttara Falguni, which is the back legs of the marriage bed. So what I recommend though is that you use what you have learned on your trip and you bring that back into the world as a way to shine a light on other people. Mars moves into Uttara Falguni. It's ruled by the sun. So you're going to have this Mars sun energy. And so it does really well together. Mars is going to do well there. But you need to bring this balance and harmony within your social connections. And like I said, whatever you've learned from your trip, bring that back because there's no problem with relaxing and enjoying, but you are being called upon to take what you've learned and bring that back into society and your social connections. So, for instance, say you were on vacation and you noticed that wherever you went in this particular town, people were just so kind and they took care of you and they made you feel so at home. Bring that back and offer that to people within your life. So another example would be, say that you were doing a trip where you were visiting, historical places along the way, and the tour guides seem to go out of their way to really make sure you kind of understood what was happening, and they really helped you, and you learned so much because of that, and they visited with you. So that can be a lesson that you bring back to those in your life. Really be there to answer questions for them and help guide them on their path. That is going to be so excellent for how you can exert your energy, but do it in a way that is shining a light on other people. And so I actually, if you are able to travel, I do recommend that you go travel and enjoy life because Mars is in Purva Falguni. There's going to be no better time of the year for you to go and take a trip, even if it's just one day, and then take what you've learned and bring that back to those in your life. Now, Mars is going to be sixth from Saturn because Saturn is in Pisces and it's going to be 6 places away. And so the sixth house from where Saturn is sitting, really, it has a lot to do with your karma. So anything you do during this time, even when you're on vacation, act in the highest way possible because Saturn is watching you, right? The sixth house has to do with the actions that we take in life. And so sixth from Saturn is going to be so important. And Mars, number nine, who you're ruled by, is sixth from Saturn. So whatever you do, just do it with respect, right? So if you're on vacation, this could mean just being respectful to everyone that is helping you. It's respecting those once you get back from a trip, for instance, and giving them the utmost respect because Saturn's watching you. And then if you perform your karmas well, then you're rewarded once Mars goes into Virgo. Okay. So I think you're going to have a good month. I think it's going to be very relaxing. I will be back at the end of July or 1st of August to give you your destiny numbers, monthly transits for the month of August. I wish you all the best and I hope you have a really good month.